You know, I'm going to say this with all of my heart and with every fiber of emotion that I can muster within my body. Fuck the WWE and fuck this fucking company! What a fucking piece of garbage show. I mean, what a gigantic fucking mess. I am so pissed off right now, as every single wrestling fan out there should be, at the atrocious bullshit that took place last night on Raw. I can't think of any Raw in recent memory that has pissed me off, that has evoked such anger out of me more than this one episode. I mean, I was just watching, I was just watching a guy just take a fucking dump in the middle of a yard. Like, it was just so disgusting what was going on. This shit was ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe what the hell happened last night. I mean, the show last night, it wasn't a wrestling show. It wasn't. It was a fucking abomination. Like, it was an abomination to wrestling. Like, there were things done I feel like they were done just on purpose to piss guys like me off. And everybody out there to piss everybody off watching this video, everybody that watches other YouTube videos, anybody that wants some sort of change to happen in the WWE. This episode of Raw last night was the WWE saying, guess what? We're not changing for any point in the foreseeable future. We're just going to keep trudging along down this fucking path straight to hell, and we're going to take as many people as we possibly can with us. Now, I know there's some people out there, I got some comments to review Hell in a Cell. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch Hell in a Cell. Okay? Between football and The Walking Dead, I had plenty of other more entertaining options for me on Sunday night. And I tell you what, I am fucking glad that I did not watch that pay-per-view. Because I did take a look at the card at like 11:30 Sunday night to see just the results, just what happened. And the fucking garbage that was on there, Great Khali and Hornswoggle versus, I don't even fucking remember, Cesaro or whatever. And you had some other bullshit match. I think the Matadors were on there. Are you kidding me? If I ever paid $55 to see the Matadors, just fucking shoot me. I would never pay to see that shit. Not ever. So I know you guys wanted me to review it. I didn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. And I am so glad that I didn't. Because, like, if I would have watched Hell in the Cell on Sunday and then this episode of Raw on Monday, I just would have walked straight out to the fucking highway and just waited for the nearest big rig to come on by and just say, please, end it now. I am done. That is how horrendous this crap was. I mean, that's what it was. It was crap. Like, I appreciate that you guys are watching my videos and you want to see me review other things. You want to see me do, more wrestling videos and other videos. I like that. That's very cool. I have 120-some subscribers. Never thought in a million years I would get that many. That, to me, that's like 1,000. That's like 10,000 subscribers to me. I'm super happy with that. If I don't get a single subscriber more, I will be completely and absolutely happy. Because that's just awesome in my opinion. So I thank you guys for showing that kind of support. But from a tolerance standpoint, for myself, as far as the WWE goes, I couldn't tolerate it. I would have flipped the fuck out if I would have watched Hell in the Cell and then watched this Raw. I mean, combined, that's like a fucking vortex. It's like the universe collapsing in on itself. Hell in a Cell and this past episode of Raw just... Oh, it was so bad. And Raw last night, you know what it was? It wasn't a wrestling show. It wasn't. It was a big pile of fucking shit. It was a big pile of fucking shit put on by a bunch of suits. I'm talking Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, whoever the hell else is running the show behind the scenes. They know that it doesn't matter what the fuck they put on that TV. There are going to be some people that just watch it no matter what. They just watch it because they grew up as fans, or because maybe even their parents are fans, or they have family members who are fans. Or like me, family members who are in the business. So you just grew up with it your whole life. So you feel compelled to watch it, to see what the biggest name in wrestling is doing right now, and to just keep up on it, and to hope and to pray that it just goes back to what it was. But you know what? It's not happening. Because what last night was just, you know, they knew they could get away with throwing whatever the fuck they wanted out there. So that's what they did. They dropped the biggest pile of shit they could, put it on TV, and then they're all standing all there in the background just fucking jerking off, just jizzing all over the fucking place, you know, just laughing their asses off, having a grand old time, because they know they're going to make money, because assholes like me are going to watch it no matter what. But if I wouldn't have been reviewing Raw, I would have turned this fucking garbage off, man. After Sandow lost to Cena, that would have been it for me. Are you kidding me? You're gonna open Raw with a 30-minute fucking... It's 2 segments. The Cena promo and then the match. To put over John Cena. To put over John Cena. This guy has... He's pushed... He's past the moon. They got a rocket on, jammed up his fucking ass straight up into the fucking gods. You know, he's already a god. Now you're gonna make him like the god that created all the other gods. He's like up in the 4th dimension now. That's how fucking high he is. You really need to put him over that much. The guy that has the championship like what? 14, 15 combined times through the world titles? It's ridiculous. You're going to make a guy like Sandow do the fucking job? I mean, it's just... It's like... It's a kid's show. You know, that's what I feel like. Like, they're never going to change, at least not in the foreseeable future. So it's like, what's the point in watching anymore? I don't know if I can continue to watch this shit. I mean, I was so angry last night. It's not worth it. It's not worth the stress and the anger it causes me to watch this fucking trash. It's like... But then at the same time, I love coming on here and venting and seeing what people are saying about it. It's awesome. Oh my God. I mean... Can you believe it? I still can't believe it. After 24 hours, almost 24 hours later, I can't fucking believe what happened last night. And I got a lot of notes here. So this might be a long video, but, you know, here we go. Okay. John Cena opens the show. Right away, we're back down into the fucking pits. We're down into the dumps. Cena comes out to start the show. And you hear Jerry the King Lawler saying, as he's coming down to the ring, it's been a long time coming, but we can finally say, the champ is here! It's been 2 fucking months since he was last there, and it's been 2 months since he was last champion. The only time he wasn't the champion is when he was out with the injury. He literally had the title all the way up till he had to leave for an injury, and then the day he comes back, he gets another title. This guy is a fucking piece of shit. If the WWE... You want to know why they don't have stars like The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin or Shawn Michaels anymore? And people are saying, why are there no more stars like that anymore? It's because the WWE won't let there be. They're taking all their money, all their energy, time, and resources, and they are pushing it all straight up Cena's fucking gaping asshole, okay? They want to push Cena and only Cena. Cena doesn't make himself, okay? He doesn't have the charisma to do it. He fucking sucks. The WWE backs the shit out of him. If they would take even half of the resources that they put behind John Cena and put them towards somebody else, like Dolph Ziggler, Damien Sandow, fucking Kofi Kingston, Dean Ambrose, it doesn't matter. You got tons of talent there to work with. Pick a guy. You could make another big superstar. But they refuse to even open their eyes to them. They want Cena and only Cena and guys from the past like the Big Show. Are you fucking kidding me? And, you know, Cena's coming down, and while his music's still playing, they cut away to all three announcers, and they're just they're just gagging on that fucking Cena dick. Cole, Lawler, JBL, they just can't get enough of slurping on that fucking And as soon as his music stops, guess what? Cena's still getting fucking booed. Not as much as normal, but they're there. And they got increasingly louder as this segment went on. And then he says, "I'm back." That right there is fucking garbage. I mean, this whole episode of Raw was garbage, but that pissed me off. That was an insult to me. He's shitting all over me, all over everybody that wants to see change in this business. That's just him and Vince McMahon through John Cena saying, it's never going to change. It's never going to change. Fuck you, WWE. So that was one insult, okay? One insult right there. I was ready to just skip this fucking shit. But I kept trucking along, all right? I sucked it up. But then he started doing this JBL impersonation. That right there was another insult. That was an insult to my fucking intelligence to think that I would find that shit entertaining. John Cena is so bad on the mic. He's not funny. He's ass. He's a sweaty piece of asshole. So I skipped. As soon as he started impersonating JBL or whatever the fuck he was doing, I skipped through the rest of this shit because I just figured it was over. But then it wasn't over because Damien Sandow comes out. And, oh my God, he puts Cena over, okay? I can't even express. It's hard for me to talk right now how frustrated I am. It's beyond frustrated. Pissed off. More pissed off than I've ever been in a long time at a fucking wrestling show. I feel like an idiot being so pissed off at a wrestling show, but I am because I'm so passionate about the fucking business. So first thing Cena does is put Cena over even more because that's what this motherfucker needs. He says that it is humanly impossible to come back from a triceps injury that fast. So Cena's gotta be some sort of inhuman fucking Superman. Well, close. He's a fucking machine. He is a Cena machine. He just eats all kinds of charisma, energy, fucking up-and-coming superstars. You got that. He's just going to destroy them all. He's going to eat them up and shit them out the other end as garbage. All right, so that was ass. But now get this, okay? And I'm sure everybody's seen it, so you know what I'm talking about. Sandow, he actually attacks John Cena, and he gets the better of him. And he's screaming, "Rise above this," and he's tossing him into the barricades. And he says, "My time is now." And he cashes in, legitimately cashes in his Money in the Bank. No fucking around. So I'm thinking, holy shit, they're going to do something here. Yeah, it's going to be Cena with an injury getting a loss, but they might just use Cena to put over Damien Sandow, which is something I can't even think of when that was ever done. So I was like surprised and thinking they were going to move in a positive direction here. Now, it's like watching somebody like a drug addict that can't kick the habit, okay? It looks like they're about to finally do something positive and you're going to feel good for them. You're encouraging. I felt a sense of encouragement for the WWE at this point. And then as this match went along, it was obvious. It became painfully obvious what was going to happen. And you could just see him relapsing. You could just see him going all the way fuck back. It turned into a fucking nightmare. I mean, this match was made solely to just put John Cena over. I mean, that's it. That's all it was. The announcers could not get off of Cena's dick talking about how courageous he was and how great this fucking showing was that he was putting on going into this match with one arm. Sandow beating the shit out of the arm. Cena just flip-flopping between selling and no selling the injury. He's a fucking retard. And I couldn't believe it, man. Because you could tell, the way they were putting Cena over, they were barely even touching on Sandow. They were just going on and on about Cena. You knew what was coming. Cena just fucking kicking out of every single thing that Damien Sandow did. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, this shit it was hard to watch. It was hard to listen to. And at one point, I think it was Jerry Lawler even said, let's see if Sandow's got what it takes to beat this one-armed champion. You know how piss poor that makes Sandow look. That makes Sandow look like a pile of fucking trash. He can't beat a guy that is supposed to only have one arm working. And then at the end of the match, Cena fucks up his knee. He's trying to sell a knee injury too. So Sandow can't beat a guy that has one arm and one leg. He still can't get the fucking job done. Sandow is just a fucking turd. He's not even a turd. He's the stain on the toilet bowl after you flush the turd down the fucking shitter. Okay, that's what made Sandow look like. He couldn't beat a one-armed, one-legged man. Fucking garbage. So Cena's just, he's just kicking out and countering out of everything that Sandow does, and then eventually he just fucking beats him. I think he hit him with the fireman's carry and he beat him. That's it. Sandow loses his money in the bank. Cena wins. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. This was did Cena really need that? Out of the two guys, John Cena and Damien Sandow, who needed that push more? The guy that's already been in the fucking WWE for 10 years, or the guy that's been in for, 1 year, 2 years? He's got the Money in the Bank contract. He's looking to make a huge splash. Who really needed that push more, huh? I can't even believe it, man. It just blows my mind that there was this 30-minute double segment, one of them being Damien Sandow getting fed to the Cena machine to put over John Cena. It is baffling. It's mind-boggling. There's no words to describe it. It's fucking ass. It's fucking garbage. And this is one of those moments. This is one of those moments where you get fans of pro wrestling that they just stand up, they grab the remote control, click, I'm done. They set it down, they go walk away. Or they change the channel and they put something else on and they say, I'm not going back. I'll check in again on them in another 2 or 3 years maybe, see where they're at. I guarantee you had a lot of people out there that had that reaction. They got up and walked away from their TVs and said, fuck this John Cena, fuck this WWE bullshit. I'm going to go do something fun. WWE is pushing fans away with this garbage. I mean, it's just, I can't believe they did it. They just firmly cemented that this is where we are. This is where we want to be. They don't want to change. And they're going to move forward with this same approach for who knows how fucking long. And I can't stand it. I mean, I just can't fucking stand it anymore. Okay. So, I just had to, reset my recorder because, it was a damn near 20-minute rant about this John Cena bullshit. And I wouldn't have had enough space on my camera to record the rest of this fucking review here. But, this was just an epic fucking fail. But let's get on with the rest of the fucking show. I didn't really want to. I'm going to tell you, after what happened with John Cena, I had such a hard time enjoying any part of the rest of the show. I really did. And after the show was over, it took me an hour to calm the fuck down last night. If I didn't have 2 kids that were sleeping, I would have made a video last night, but I couldn't. Okay, I just couldn't do it. Lucky for me, when I get real passionate and emotional about something, I dwell on it. I'm a dweller like that. So I had no problem just unleashing fucking right now about this piece of shit Raw and this motherfucking garbage-ass company. You could put fucking monkeys, a bunch of fucking retards, in that WWE head office, and they would do a hell of a lot better job than what these fucking idiots are doing right now, man. This is just insane. Okay, but, I gotta move on, so... But I just wasn't enjoying this. We had a Shield promo that was next. They planted seeds about some kind of a breakup, possibly, because Ambrose was talking about he was the only one left in the group that had the title. He was getting some mean looks from Reigns and Rollins. And that led into this Big E Langston versus Dean Ambrose match for the United States Championship. Didn't last long, though, because they wound up turning into a 6-man tag match. And this match was pretty good. I did like this match as much as I possibly could have, given the anger level that I was experiencing Reigns sold this DDT RVD style, and for a man of his height, his size, it looked very cool for him to see him take a move like that. And then he hit this double spear, a fucking rockin' double spear on Reigns, or on the Usos. Reigns hit the Usos, both of them with it. Looked awesome. That got the 3 count. Shield won, and I enjoyed the match as much as I could have. All right, so after that, we get Shawn Michaels and a Daniel Bryan segment. Shawn Michaels, he gives his crap apology, says to Daniel Bryan, now you know not to trust anybody, not me, not your fiance, whatever. He asks, then he demands Daniel Bryan to shake his hand, basically turning heel in the process. Daniel Bryan refuses, but he does grab his hand and then throws him down, slaps on the fucking label lock, and makes Shawn Michaels tap out. I like this. This was good for Daniel Bryan, okay? I thought Michaels did an excellent job of putting over Daniel Bryan, just like he did last week. Why is it that Shawn Michaels seems to be the only guy who is willing to put over Daniel Bryan nowadays? I can't remember anybody else that's done as good a job as Shawn Michaels has. Why the fuck can't the current roster do this? Why can't Triple H do this? Why can't Randy Orton do this? Oh, I know, because they're fucking assholes. Maybe not so much Orton, but Triple H, big piece of fucking shit. So right now, I was happy with what was going on with Daniel Bryan. I really was, okay? Just like I was happy with Damian Sandow cashing in on John Cena at first. But then they do this take back, this double reverse fucking switchback. Because they put Daniel Bryan straight into the fucking mid-card. Are you kidding me? Daniel Bryan's in the back. He's getting interviewed about what happened with Shawn Michaels. Before he can say anything, he gets attacked by the Wyatts, and they beat the shit out of him, like, to the point where he has to go to the hospital. This fucking sucks. Daniel Bryan was the symbol of change, basically. More over than CM Punk was back in that Summer of Punk. So he's a guy that the WWE actually seemed like they were going to get behind. And then they literally pulled the rug out from under him at SummerSlam when they gave the title to Randy Orton. But he thought, okay, it's going to set up this Orton-Daniel Bryan feud that was going to lead to something positive, but you're wrong. That feud barely existed because then it was Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and fucking Big Show and half of the goddamn roster and the Shield. You know, all this fucking bullshit. You could barely tell there was a feud going on between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton for the past several months. And now it appears as though he's being taken right out of the title picture. He's the most over guy in the company for now. But, I mean, does the name Zack Ryder ring a bell? Does the name Dolph Ziggler ring a bell? You can only squash the hot commodity so many times before the audience eventually loses interest. Zack Ryder was on fire. He was white hot for months a couple of years ago, and the WWE destroyed him. Dolph Ziggler, after he won the title after WrestleMania, was white fucking hot. He was hot before that. I mean, he always had this undercurrent of fans that were always behind him. But then he just blew up after he won that title, and the WWE, they immediately shit all over him. Daniel Bryan won the title at SummerSlam and lost it. He won the title at Night of Champions and lost it. I mean, you could only do this to a person so many times before the fans, they just get exhausted. They get burned out seeing the guy that they like get destroyed. It's like, well, maybe this guy really isn't any good, so I'm going to start looking to another guy to cheer for. And you just disperse this fan base that that character has. I think that's going to start happening to Daniel Bryan, especially when he gets beat up by a couple of fucking nobodies like the Wyatts. Nothing against the Wyatts. I like the Wyatts. I want to see them do good, and I think this feud will be good for them. But it sucks for Daniel Bryan, and later on we found out CM Punk, but more Daniel Bryan. CM Punk could come back from it. Daniel Bryan, he's still on the cusp, in my opinion. He was over, but the WWE, they're pulling back. They are dragging Daniel Bryan down. He's going to lose all that energy that he's gotten. And I don't even know. Like, they're doing it on purpose, it feels like. It feels like the WWE, they don't want this guy or that guy to be the next big thing. They want it to be Cena and the Big Show and whoever the fuck else they choose. But they don't have a lot of choices because they refuse to put their energy behind new guys, okay? Like, as older wrestlers have left, the bigger stars from years past, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, he only wrestles once a year, so he's basically gone. Like, when you lose these big guys, Batista, a portion of the fan base, I believe, goes with them because there's no big stars to take their place. Because WWE hasn't built up any big stars. Like, these legends, these icons, these big stars are leaving, and you have none of these current stars built up enough to take their place. Because WWE, when you get a guy like Daniel Bryan, they refuse to push him. Instead, they're going to keep pushing the one guy that they have left. As much as I fucking hate it, John Cena is the star of that company still. Like, it should be Daniel Bryan at this point. They had 2 months would have been enough to get him to the point where he was the guy. Not anymore. They lost their opportunity now. And, like, they didn't want the opportunity to begin with, it looks like. Oh, alright, sorry for the yelling. Sorry if I feel like it seems like I'm rambling, but I am just so pissed off. So this Raw is just, like, that adds to my frustration, my anger. This was just abysmal. Then we had Los Matadores versus the three-man band again. And then after that, we had a Divas match. It's even fucking worse. And then after that, we got Kane versus The Miz. This Raw is sucking big fucking balls, man. And then Kane calls out Stephanie McMahon. He wins the match, obviously. And then he tells her that he's basically hers to command to do whatever she wants with Kane. Takes his mask off, gives it to her, and walks away. So, what the fuck ever, man. I don't even care at this point. After that, we had CM Punk. He comes out and cuts a good promo about how he finally took out Paul Heyman. And now he's going to take out Ryback for good. And it's CM Punk versus Ryback in a street fight next, voted on by the WWE Universe. And, you know, the match was fast. It was fun to watch a little bit. I was so fucking pissed, though. I had a hard time getting into it. Watching Punk kick Ryback and then Ryback gently laying down on that stupid table looked fucking ridiculous. And then Punk nailed the flying elbow on Ryback through that table and then made him tap out with the Anaconda Vice. So CM Punk wins. And then you had the Wyatts come out and attack Punk after the match too, just like they did with Daniel Bryan backstage. I don't know what's going on. I don't really care. Daniel Bryan needs to be in that main event title picture, not in a feud with the Wyatts. Nothing against the Wyatts, but this is just not right. Up next, we had Goldust and Cody Rhodes versus Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger. This is another all-right match. You know, Swagger made Goldust tap out in the end with the ankle lock. They want to set up a feud between these two teams. Right after a garbage Del Rio promo, we got Summer Rae with Fandango versus Natalya with the Great Khali in her corner, and maybe Hornswoggle was there too. I don't know if he was. I didn't see him. I don't even fucking care about this either. Alright, I know I've been yelling too much because my fucking voice is getting sore, but here we are, the main event. It is an exact fucking repeat of the Raw after SummerSlam. You had the locker room on the ramp, you had the Shield at ringside, Triple H and Stephanie in the ring. The only thing missing was Vince McMahon. I think he was there after SummerSlam, but this was just garbage. I mean, it literally made everything after SummerSlam seem like filler when they put the exact same segment on from the Raw after SummerSlam. It's like, okay, here's 2 months of garbage. Now we're going to pick back up with the same exact segment, and now we're going to proceed going forward with what we really wanted to do, which was put the Big Show over. Not Daniel Bryan. Not this, young up-and-comer that's doing things in the ring that the casual wrestling fan hasn't seen in a long time, maybe ever. We're going to go with the guy that's been around for like a dozen fucking years and can barely walk / move / wrestle anymore, because that seems like the smart fucking way to go. So this segment had Orton coming out too, and he and Stephanie McMahon, they were laying into the locker room on the rampway pretty hard, basically burying everybody in the entire locker room that was up there, because nobody had the fucking balls to step up except for the Big Show coming out. Alright, Big Show comes out and he tries to attack, but the Shield, like, they stop him, they start attacking him, then they get taken out by Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and the Usos. And then everyone else up in the rampway finally starts getting involved, going after the Shield. They get taken away, basically. So you just have Big Show coming into the ring. He knocks out Randy Orton. He says he's going to bankrupt Triple H and the entire company. He's going to sue him for everything they possibly have. I don't fucking care. Okay, that's pretty much the end of the show right there. And Triple H refuses to fight him. But Big Show's begging him to fight. Triple H won't do it. It sucked, okay? Big Show was getting chants. Like, let's go Big Show, something like that. The crowd's behind Big Show. No fucking shit. You put anybody in this kind of angle and give them this kind of push. Yeah, they're going to skyrocket, okay? It's going to happen. But why does it have to happen with a guy that doesn't need it? Big Show... it's undeniable the man is in the latter part of his career. You could even say the same thing about John Cena. He does not need the push. John Cena does not need the push. This does not set the business up for the future. These guys are going to be gone sooner rather than later. You need to do these kinds of things with younger, or at least, newer guys that are up and coming in the business that could be around much longer and take this company into the future. What happens when the WWE runs out of their Big Shows and their John Cenas? There's going to be nothing. There'll be no major stars to take their place because the WWE refuses to put any effort behind any of the newer up-and-coming guys. It's shitting on the business, and it's leading it down a dark path. WWE might not see it now, but in the future, like a couple of years from now, the effects of what's happening right now are going to be felt. The WWE is going to be in a very bad spot, even worse than they are now in a couple of years. But maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe this company needs to take such a fucking hit financially that they have no choice but to open their eyes and change the way that they're doing business. Because right now, this business sucks. This Raw was the worst Raw I have seen in a long time. Not just for being bad, but it was the most hated Raw. I will remember this Raw for a long, long time. I promise you. This Raw fucking sucked. Fuck this Raw. Fuck this company. Just plain old fuck the WWE. JV squared. 61279. That's it. I have said what I wanted to say. I'll see you guys next time.